On Two Wheels this week, a ride round Cadwell Park on a Ducati 748 on the Ducati Experience. Wayne finishes off his helmet stickers and Shari takes a ride on a Laverda. Well, it's early morning, it's very, very cold and the sun isn't even up yet. And I've managed to get all the way to Cadwell Park here in Lincolnshire for another race school type of thing that I'm going to have a go at. The car park over there is full of Ducatis because I've come to sample the Ducati Experience. I mentioned Ducatis, I mentioned racetracks, and you immediately think of world champion Carl Fogarty. Carl, you're not riding here today, are you?
No, I'm not. No, I'm just going to let you boys out there have a bit of fun. I'm just going to stand around and watch.
Right, and laugh probably, yeah? Yeah. As a professional, as a world champion, what do you think that the guys who come on this type of school, it's a race school basically, how much do you think we can get out of it? How valuable is it?
I think you can have fun, which is end of the day the most important thing. You know, I think people who watch me on the tracks all over the world can actually go and do something very similar to what I do, which you not in many other sports you can do that. So right. I think just coming here and riding, the best superbike in the world, you know, on some of the tracks that you know I've raced on, you know, it's just fun, really. I think that's what you just get off the road and nothing coming the other way. Just have a great time. That's
right. Yeah, but a lot of the guys that are teaching us, the instructors, are all racers. They've all done a fair bit. So, how similar is the kind of things they're showing us to the sort of things that are going through your mind when you're racing?
Well, I'm not sure what the things that are going through my mind are a little bit different, you know, than obviously what we're doing. But I think the one thing that they'll let you know is just where to be on the track, you know. Yeah. And where they tell you to be, you know, on the right lines, it's where I'd be. So you've got the same sort of lines as me. But I mean, I would think a lot of different things. I'm thinking about winning the race, or where I'm going to get past Aaron Slatt or something. Whereas you're not going to be thinking that, or you shouldn't be anyway.
I'm going to be thinking I want to get home at the end of this in one piece. That's what I'm thinking. Right, I've got to quickly ask you about your racing, about the bike. How's the bike this year?
It's going really well. The 99 bike just feels a little bit better to me than the 98 bike, and that's a good thing, obviously. And we're looking forward to the year. It should be a good one.
Yeah. And the team's good. Your new mate Troy?
Yeah, we've no problems. Me and Troy seem to get on fine. You know, obviously we're both out to win, so you know there might be times where it gets hard or it gets easy. I don't know, but at the end of the day we're both professionals and we both want to win, and I'm sure the best guy will win it.
Excellent. Right, don't laugh too loud when I go past. And Carl did promise not to laugh too loud. As with any race school, first job is a quick briefing session for the riders, hosted this time by famous motorcycle commentator Julian Ryder. Nothing too heavy, a few basic do's and don'ts. So this is a race school, kind of a race school with a difference, and the man who's going to tell me just how different it is Tim Jones, who's got a fantastic title that I can't possibly remember. What is it?
Group Activities Team Leader, whatever one of those does.
That sounds very impressive anyway, yeah. So what's this what have I let myself in for here?
Well, you come down to the best circuit in the country, Cadwell Park. You've got the best machinery with the Ducatis. You're riding a 748. And you're going to go on the circuit for a 40-minute session of one-to-one intensive tuition. So you've got everyone's attention, or one person's attention, for some considerable time. So you should enjoy it. You've got enough time to go out, find your way around and relax, and then really get some feedback from him. And it's down to you as the customer, as it were, to actually pick his brains at the same time as waiting for him to spot things.
Right. This one-to-one, that's quite unique. I don't know of anywhere else that has this one-to-one relationship. Is that something new for this year? Because you've been going 12 months now, haven't you?
Well, 12 months in the form of Ducati, but we've been a racing school here for some time. Yeah. And I've got the experience of bringing the car side to it. As an ex-racer myself in cars, I've been able to bring a bit more knowledge of the one-to-one instructor customer scenario from inside a car. When I first took over running the bike school 4 years ago, it was something like 3 or 4 to 1, which I was very uncomfortable with. Yeah. And I decided one day I'll get it to 1 to 1. Now I've done it. I've managed to persuade the powers to be that it is worthwhile in terms of, you know, obviously a bigger bill at the end of the day. But the customers' faces yesterday when we had our first day were just tells the story. For one, they get on the Ducatis and they're beaming, but when they've got one person's attention for the whole day, then it just makes it worthwhile. You could go to do a track day and spend more money but get more time, but the benefit you get from the 40 minutes or the 2 25-minute sessions if you're doing a super trial from our team just outweigh all of that.
Right. So what's the format for today then? How much track time do we get?
Well, you're on 40 minutes actually on track. You'll go in, get a briefing, 20, 25 minutes. Then you'll go over to the kit room, make sure you've got your own kit, but we can supply everything. Right. Leathers, the helmets, gloves, boots, back protectors, everything. Then you're introduced to your instructor, you get onto the bike, get a bit familiar with what the machinery that you've got. And then you're on the track for 40 minutes. If you're riding well and sensibly, or shall we say safely, then you're going to get most of that time will be on track. Whereas if you're, shall we say, not prepared to ride safely, then you'll probably spend a good deal of time sitting in what we call the bus stop, talking about it, because obviously the most important thing is that people come to us and have a safe day out. But 40 minutes track time, then you're back here, and then you'll go in with one of the instructors to the debriefing. Today it's Matt Llewellyn who's going to be doing the briefing and debriefing. Matt goes without introduction really, as a winner last year in Superbikes. But all our instructors are that good quality. You've got Steve Plater here today from the Super Sports, and Mark Phillips, multiple British champion, all sorts of people here. So in very good hands, quite intensive, packed into a short space of time, but well worth doing.
Cadwell Park is known for being a twisty, technical type of circuit, especially the woodland section, which unfortunately we weren't using. We were on the club circuit, which is a tight turn at the hairpin, not a very nice hairpin at that. Communication between instructor and pupil is done by a series of pre-arranged hand signals. There's one which means follow me, one means wind the throttle on, and another one means overtake. And once your instructor is confident that you're making good progress, he'll wind you through and follow you round the circuit. Well, I've just come back after 40 minutes out there on the track. It felt like about 4 minutes actually. It went like a flash. Now my scrutineer and instructor Lee, how did it go on out there, Lee?
Very good. Once you settled into it, you was good. The first, say 15 minutes, you was a little bit erratic and you was like trying to find your way around, which is understandable. Cadwell Park is a really demanding circuit, and if you're not used to the bikes and a circuit as one, it can be really awkward. But you was good, really good. Once you settled down and you relaxed, you was all right. The gear changes a little bit iffy for starters, but when you got 3/4 of the way through, good. Braking was good, body position was good, and when you started hanging off and relaxing, you look real good.
Hey, I like you. I like this man already. It's great. It's a bit daunting. This is the first time I've ever had my riding kind of examined. How do people react to that? Do people always accept what you say, or do you get people say, "Oh, I'm better"?
Oh no, far from it. I mean, they don't always say this as a racer's point of view, as if we don't know what we're talking about. But 9 times out of 10, they do take it. I.e. the braking. If they're a bit erratic, we try and slow them down. Or just calm the riding down a little bit. But 9 times out of 10, they do. They take it as word, especially when you're bigger.
Yeah, exactly. I think by the end of the session, I've not been around Cadwell before on a bike, so I was finding my way a little bit first. I think by the end of the session, I don't think it was going any faster, but I felt like I was doing it better somehow. Is that the idea?
Yes, it's not all about speed. You can get speed, but you can be erratic. But you've got a lot smoother, and with smoothness comes speed. And that's what you was doing. You felt at ease, and if you weren't going so quick, plain and simply because you was riding smooth. If you had the bike moving around and sliding, but you could still be going slower. But you were smooth. You were scud on the bike, so that's what made it all fast.
People have been saying about these Ducatis. I mean, we're all, as pupils, on 748s, you're on 916s. People say that the Ducati is particularly well suited to this Cadwell circuit. Why is that, do you think?
Being a twin and the power delivery. Like Cadwell's got a lot of like the hairpins and uphills and downhills.
Don't remind me, that hairpin is horrible.
You didn't like that, did you?
It's horrible. Women's bad, it was all on the same level. Woman goes like that.
You made it hard. But no, I mean, they are a good bike for the power delivery and the lightness. So they're a nice little quick steering bike. Especially good for you.
High performance bike could be quite daunting to some people, possibly, but I think it's quite a forgiving bike because it's so torquey. You can get your gears wrong. That's my excuse anyway.
Well, I mean, if you go into a corner like Park Corner and you're in second,
Yeah.
fine. But if you're going to third and you make a mistake, it'll still pull third.
Yeah.
And it'll near enough pull fourth.
Right.
And it's not such a bike like an inline four where you've got to be bang on with the gears and the revs.
Yeah.
I mean, these are dead forgiving bikes.
Right.
It's a really good thing to learn. People get so scared about coming to something like the Ducati Experience at
Right.
Cadwell because of the track and the bike.
Mhm.
They see people like Carl Fogarty winning races on these and they think I could never ride one. But they are very, very forgiving.
Yeah. Good. I've enjoyed it very much. You've got another job to do now. You've got to go and write a report up now, haven't you, on me?
I certainly
Marks
have.
out of 10 and all
I
this.
certainly have.
It's like being at school.
It
You're
is.
going to put on the bottom, tries hard but could do better. That's
I could easily do. Just at the hairpin.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what Lee had to say in a little bit. Braking, throttle control, line, riding position, body position whilst cornering, ability to look and plan ahead, awareness, consistency, speed, and areas needing most practice. How can he say that? No, I'm only joking. Actually, Lee, my instructor, has written some nice things. It's all right. I'm very pleased with what I've got today. Everything's marked out of 90, and I'll show you what I've got there, you see. 79 out of 90. Not bad. Apparently, I need more practice on my gear changing, which you heard him say before. But it's a great experience, this Ducati thing. 40 minutes on a 748 with one-to-one tuition. And if you wanted to do that, it'll cost you, for that package that I've just done, £110. And there are other packages available. You can spend some time with a Ducati 996 and you get an hour and something on the bike again with one-to-one tuition, and that's £285. But for 110 quid you can do that, and it really is fantastic. It really is the business. You should have a go. And the one-to-one tuition bit, I think, is the best part of it, because so often people, I think, are frightened of going to race schools because you think, well, if I get in a group and there's an instructor and there's 3 of us, I might be the slowest and I'm going to make a right pillock of myself. Well, don't worry about that. One-to-one, you can go as fast as you want, well, within reason, but you can also go as slow as you want. Nobody's going to laugh. You're not going to get embarrassed. It's excellent. Have a go.
When people used to talk to me about Laverdas, I used to screw my nose up and go off into another planet, usually planet Zonk, with the expression, "Wake me up when you're finished," written all over my face. Well, how wrong could you be? When I got on this little rocket, I was certainly brought down to earth. It made me realise how narrow-minded you can be, and you've got to try these things once in a while. This bike comes in 3 colour combinations: black and orange, like the one I'm riding, blue and orange, and silver and orange. The price is about £7,995. That comes with a 2 years unlimited mileage warranty and 12 months RAC membership. Hopefully you won't break down. Motor Laverda have been around for years, but quite recently they've been bought up. The new ownership are quite keen to focus on quality in particular, and here we have a very fine example of that quality. The very attractive frame is a polished aluminium alloy. So is the swinging arm. The suspension also is quite trick. The forks can be adjusted here, and they have about 24 settings. Same goes for the rear suspension. You can adjust the preload, and also you can adjust the dampening with this remote reservoir here. The brakes are not your average Brembos. They are gold line Brembo brakes, top of the range, top spec, and with them the brake lines are higher spec stainless steel, suit whatever environment you're in. They'll never go out of shape. The exhaust is not just your average system, it's a Tamione aluminium and carbon fibre system. The wheels, they're Marchesini, and they're surrounded by not just usual rubber, but Pirelli Dragons, which is a very soft compound, quite a racy tyre. This bike should be serviced every 3,000 miles. Alternately, a major and a minor service. The minor service is approximately £110. The major service, £220. This bike is actually very small, so anybody 6 foot or over may find they're a bit knees and elbowy on it. It's very light, about 195 kilograms. which makes it all the more agile and flickable on the corners. The power this engine has is about 80 brake horsepower, and that's measured at the rear wheel. For a 750cc bike, that's not bad going at all, and also being a twin, it's very torquey. When you do hit those wide open roads, you can reach up to about 140 to 145 miles an hour. And you can be sure that when you stop at any local biker pub or cafe, you're bound to get lots of attention because this bike is very exclusive. You don't see many of these around. Anyway, enough of this talk, because this bike doesn't like cities, doesn't like the city traffic. When it got hot, it wanted to stall all the time. The clutch was impossible. It just moaned and groaned all the way through the city. It was embarrassing. It's a bike that is different, everybody stares at you, but when it comes to city traffic, it's not good and they stare at you and you're stalling all the time. This bike is happy out on the open roads, those twisty bends. It likes revs, it just likes to go. So it's not really a city dweller. And after all, it's not even trying to be one. It is a racy bike. It's not a tootling around town bike.
So this is your fancy cutting machine, eh? Well, is there a limit to what you can do? How big, for example, can you do your lettering?
Well, just on this particular machine, we can do a 610 letter, or we could go down to a 3mm letter, which is a bit hard. But
610, can we have that in English? Is that like a couple of foot?
That's 2 foot to me and you,
and 3mm means digit, really small. Oh, right,
to
then,
me and
yes,
you,
yeah.
Which is, these are a lot faster than the old machines.
I can see, and I'm sure the lads out there can see, that is simply just a load of lines.
Yeah.
What happens now then?
Well, after we've actually finished, we actually take it apart and weed it.
Weed it?
Yeah, not the gardening weed.
I'm glad you said that, because I employ a gardener.
Vinyl.
Yeah, you see, I don't want to be doing any gardening if I can help it.
Yeah.
So take away the excess vinyl by weeding.
Weeding away.
Right then, and I feel the need to see a bit of weeding.
Right.
So this is you doing a bit of weeding.
It certainly is. It's taking away all the excess vinyl around.
Yeah, I must admit actually, now I've seen this type of weeding, I just might take up gardening again. It's quite clean and civilised, isn't it?
It's a damn sight easy as well.
So, having done this, can I have a go? Give us a go.
Oh,
Let me just do the, here. I'm weeding. If my missus sees me weeding now, she'll have me blinking doing the gardening next week. Right. Oh, I'm not as good as you, obviously. Oh. But then again, I'm not a professional, am I? I can't get this up. Oh, here we go. We've done it. We've sussed it. After third attempt, we got there. Right. Having weeded.
Yeah.
And we have weeded. Right. What you see? Right. You don't pull them off one by one and stick them on.
Next simple step: just take all the remainder off.
And then what I know what you do now. I've remembered now from previous. You
use the
stick the tape over the top.
Application tape or pick-up tape.
Pick-up tape.
Right. So it's a case of putting over the top. Then making sure it made contact, and then that's it.
And that is how we would receive it, isn't it? Ready to put onto our helmet.
Yeah.
All right then. Before we go and do that, before we stick that on a lid, just go back to two wheels. I mean, we ended up with this. We've got our two wheels logo like that, which is very impressive, I must admit. But you didn't just come like that. You had to do your four-piece process. Yeah. So just show us where how you did that.
Here's one I cut earlier, which is just simply got a clear tape so I can see for the overlay.
So that you use a different type of overtape there.
So it's a case of peeling away and then I'm going to overlay onto the black.
You have to get this just right, and this is why you'd use that clear tape, isn't it?
So you can see. It's just a case of...
You make that look so easy, but I'd get it completely wrong.
Right. So... No.
Excellent. How long does this sort of stuff last on outdoors? Is it sort of a few years?
Oh yeah, it's you can go anywhere from a 3 to 5 year or a 5 to 7 year.
Oh, so there's no fear of it falling off or anything like that?
No, it's a long-lasting film.
Right, so then presumably you'd bung the silver on, and then you'd bung, in this case we've got a red one here and we've got a yellow one here. Whichever you're going to use, you would bung that on, and you'd end up with this back onto the two wheels. And you'd then put the tape over the top, And that would just apply as easy as you would do any of these.
Yeah, just as
Let's have a dabble at this then. So we've got a helmet we did earlier on, Paul.
Yeah.
We've got all this lot here, look, with the barbed wire and the tear-offs and everything.
Yes.
Let's just, for the sake of the viewer out there, show them how we lay that Honduki side on the side of this helmet.
Well, first of all, a case of peeling away the backing paper.
Yeah. So then the lettering ends up on the application tape. Got your drift.
Then, carefully, if we can, laying it on. Maybe take time at this point.
Yeah.
We should have slightly curved
because it's like a one-hit thing, this, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we should have slightly curved the text just to make it curve in better with the
So you can actually curve the writing, can you?
Yeah,
go with the
so
lines
you can do
of
a
the
curve
helmet.
in, yeah. That was just a straight, and when you put a straight on a curve, it goes a bit funny, as you know.
Right. Bit funny. What are you trying to say? Oh, this.
Oh.
I was a bit funny.
No. So
there's nothing wrong with
once
me,
you
mate.
rub it down well, and then peel away slowly, just in case you do pull something up again.
Yeah.
And then...
Voila.
There you
My
go.
word, look at that. Impressive.
Simple.
It is very, very easy. Now then, let's just quickly do this tear stripe that we've cut the tear stripes out in this what colour would we call that then? Plum or something?
I think it's called plum, yeah.
Plum, right. This you don't need the overlay tape, do you? Because it makes life a little easier.
With very clean hands.
Oh, yeah, very clean hands.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops. Right then. And all I'm going to do here is just slap it on, but you would obviously line it up so you get it where you want it. But it's as easy as that, really.
That's it.
And if I can do it, just about anybody out there can do it.
I think you've done it before, haven't you?
I have done it before, actually, yes. Yeah, I've cheated a bit. I've done a fair few helmets. Which brings me to just summarising. To decorate a helmet like that, fully and tastefully, rather than like that, in the colours you want, with the words you want on it, your name, bike name, whatever, would cost you anything between sort of 20, 30, 40 quid. 40 quid really at the outline. If in the future you change your bike or your colourway, you warm it up with a hairdryer perhaps, peel them off, clean it up with a bit of cleaner and reapply the colour or the pattern you want, which is the advantage you can, one of the reasons you would use the vinyl stickers. And I suppose you might want to just see some we did earlier.
On Two Wheels next week, Jeff takes a look at the wonderful world of sidecars and decides he'd rather ride on 2 wheels than 3. Also, Wayne takes a ride on an electric scooter.